Alright guys, this is the final upload of 2023. And a couple of days ago, made a upload about Andrew Dawson, the young man who lived in Canada and really didn't post a lot on TikTok prior to him seeing some strange stuff in Canada. And he then was threatened, and tragically his life was taken. There are a lot of kind of rumors and guessing going around, or whatever you want to call it. That upload is couple days old if you want to check it out. But there was another young man on TikTok this year who had been targeted as well. And this upload is showing you, or introducing or reintroducing you to that. But before we get into it, a couple links. As you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and channel membership are in the description below. The merch is displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support this channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It does not cost you a cent. Click that like button. It takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads I put out daily, click that bell icon, and folks, please leave a comment. Why? Well, because all of these things, they really do help this channel to continue to grow and go. And yes, folks, they really do matter. Now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump into this last upload of 2023, shall we? Andrew Dawson, the young TikToker who had made a bunch of TikTok posts about finding and seeing a giant in Canada on this mountain there. And of course, the people trying to debunk it, there's a channel, I forget the channel's name, got a couple million or million and so subscribers. But because he's got a million and so subscribers, everybody thinks that he's going to tell the exact truth and how it is. A million subs doesn't make you truthful. You know, it just makes it that you have more of a following. You've, succeeded in whatever you're meant to do. But anyway, he said like Andrew Dawson was alive, that this was a hoax, this and that. And in a video, an upload that I had done, I shared with you his obituary. I shared with you the notice from the funeral parlor where his funeral and memorial were held. His wife still posts TikToks saying that we miss you, Andrew. This young man left behind a son, a wife, mom, and a dad, and other family members who loved him because he was a truth bringer. People are like, well, there was an installation already up there. Well, yeah, there probably was. But what does our government like to do? They like to deny things, and then they like to cover them up and stick the strangeness right in front of us, because the sheep are blind and will accept anything the government says. And of course, there's people out there saying, it's all a big hoax, yada yada, Andrew Dawson's dead, not alive, or not dead, he's alive, this and that. Put it this way, if he was alive, he would have been posting TikToks by now and, you know, played the charade a little longer. But it wasn't a charade, it was real. Just like the young man from Las Vegas, who in June caught a UFO that crash landed in his property, called 911. Well, that young man has since changed his tune. I'm going to share a couple of things with you right now, and then I'll share the update. And then we've got some Dogman encounters. It's going to be a pretty good middle of the night bonus. Let's check this out right now, though.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it, and big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
All right, guys. So that is a made-up video, and I'll tell you how I know in a quick second. People are blowing this video up, putting it on their YouTube channels, putting it on TikTok, and putting the 911 call behind it to make it seem like it is real. That is not real. The young man is on TikTok, and I have 2 young daughters, 18 and 15, going to be 16, both on TikTok, both with a ton of followers. And I looked at my youngest and I said, find this kid. She did, and asked if this video is the deal, and he said no. 911 call, video is not mine. I don't know where that came from. And sent her a link to his TikTok, and then he made this video, which I'm going to share with you right now. The only real video. These are the only real videos out of that. Guys, don't be deceived. These hoaxers, these tricksters, they love to trick us. They really do. And, you know, people may be like, hey, what about the Michigan guy? Guys, I don't know yet. But the second I find out, I will make a video like this if it is true or not. Anyway, here's the real videos. First, it's him in his own words. And then the last part of the video is blown up so you can see what he caught on camera himself. These are his videos now.
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is my first video. I'm here to tell you what happened to me on May 1st, 2023. I'm trying to explain the best of my abilities. This is not a conspiracy theory. I'm not making this story out for clout or fame. I just want to tell you what happened to me and my family. And I know some people are not gonna believe this, but each person is different. So this is what happened to me. Keep in mind, this is midnight and I'm fixing a truck in my backyard. At this point, I'm only with my brother and I hear something fall from the sky. I turn around, the only thing I see is a big light falling from the sky, and moments after, I feel a big impact and a bang, sort of like a big impact fall. And me and my brother looked at each other and we were scared, but when the impact happened, it was sort of like a shock wave. Like an out-of-body experience. So to say, when I tried to look at the object, it was all blurry. Not my vision, but only the backyard area. And I hear thousands of footsteps around me, and maybe a couple seconds later, the blurriness was gone. And here's the footage of the body, the police officer's body cam, and here's the object I'm referring to, the light. Video. Here's a Ring camera video. You can hear the bang. This is around the neighborhood. So here's the video. So when that happened, the only thing I can see in the backyard is a tall creature, probably around 8-10 feet tall, very thin. So I called my dad. He went to the backyard and he saw the same thing, the same creature I saw. He told me to go inside the house. At this point, we all freaking out, me and my family. And here's a video where we were in the backyard area. You cannot see it too good, but on camera, but it's there. Here's a video.
¡Ay! Profesor. Calmungarela, me canceles var eso. Kylo, cherro, que chile. Kylo, cherro.
Moments after the video, me and my brother went to go pick up my tools. Then my brother calls me, and he told me shakingly, look behind the forklift. So I look. Keep in mind I'm facing the forklift, and then I see the alien creature. So when I saw it, it was a tall, skinny, lengthy creature. He was a gray, greenish color. And when I looked at it in the eyes, my body just froze. Like the same experience as having sleep paralysis. Keep in mind, I'm staring at him and I look at his whole body and he has a weird looking feet and a big face and eyes, and you can see a big mouth. And I could hear his loud, deep breathing, and I could see his stomach moving. He would just stare at me. Seconds later, I could start moving again. And I start running towards the house. That's when I call 911, and here's the 911 call.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and it's looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the police to come, and you could hear footsteps in the backyard area. And a loud whispering, like you could hear whisperings. We were in the living room area, and you could hear footsteps on the roof. So we waited a little bit for the police. When they arrived, they told me I told them what I saw, and they were kind of freaked out. Here's the body cam of the officer.
Now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or?
They see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro...
So they went in the backyard, and one of the officers pointed at the floor, and it was a perfect circle. Here's a photo of the circle I'm referring to. Keep in mind, 2 officers came in my house, and one of them started running to his car, driving around the neighborhood, asking passing cars if they saw light.
What's clear, they're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
Goosebumps and freaking out. He started investigating that he told me his partner, she saw a light falling from the sky. He told me he believes me because her partner reported that she saw the same light as me. Now we're walking the front yard. Then the other officer came here. Here's a video of him talking to my family.
If those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
So, moments before they left, one of the officers told me, if I see the thing again, to don't call him, just shoot him. And you can hear in the video. Here's the video.
If those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
So they left, and we went inside the house, and we started praying. As we're praying, you can hear a loud human-like scream in the backyard. This is what happened to me on May 1st, 2023. I hope you guys kind of understand what happened to me. I know it's hard to believe, but I saw what I saw, and it's kind of going viral. That's why I'm here to explain the story. I did an interview with journalist Doc Papa. I'm going to put his video in the description. I'm going to make a part 2 of the stuff that happened after May 1st. And thank you for watching.
Okay, so those are about 4 months old, back when it all went down. Now, I want you guys to listen to the words that are said in this news broadcast. Listen to how they mention agencies and certain things. And it's pretty interesting, and a little scary, you know. Then, right after this news broadcast, is about a 2.5 to 3 to 2.5 month old update from the young man, and there hasn't been any since. Check it out.
Sources telling Vegas UFO investigators that several agencies believe something landed or crashed. Whether it was non-humans or not, it certainly scared the people living on this property. Now, before we show you that video, listen to their call for help.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Okay.
Well, the 8 News Now investigators obtaining video as officers then responded to the call you just heard. You'll see the officers also saw something in the sky that night, but the big question is, what was it, and is it all connected?
Leave her alone.
It's almost midnight on May 1st when a Las Vegas Metro Police officer's body cam catches this, something flashing low in the sky.
911 emergency.
Minutes later,
there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Someone calls 911 reporting 2 large figures in their backyard.
No, I'm still nervous right now.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video as he's sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I have butterflies, bro. I've only thought of shooting stars, and these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
By now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or?
They see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro blacked out that part of the video because it's considered private property. What's clear, they're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, Only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
That investigation turning up no concrete answers as of Wednesday. Whatever or whoever fell into that yard, long gone within minutes.
Oh, hey, if those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
So yeah, this is quite weird, Brian was saying as we're watching this story. Now, we've been in contact with the family in that video, and as you heard in that 911 call, they seem very reasonable and honestly quite scared as you heard them in the call. No, they don't seem impaired in any way. And whatever crashed by the time that police got there was gone, but sources say that there's really no dispute. Something was in their yard. Exactly what? We do not know.
I mean, it's so interesting. So, like, the Metro officer sees something, the neighbors see something. I mean, so what could it be?
Well, we know that there are obviously a lot of military bases around this area. George Knapp covers a lot of that stuff for us on the 80s Now Investigators. We're showing you drone video from above that area. And we know, of course, Creech not far away, Nellis Air Force Base not far. I checked in with them. They say they are not involved at all, and we are waiting to hear from the Pentagon as well.
And you talked to these people. It seemed completely legitimate to you. And do you have any personal thoughts on maybe what it was?
Right. So it seems from talking to our sources that something happened. There was obviously some flash in the sky. A lot of people saw it that night on the night of April 30th, early in the morning on May 1st. Did that exact thing land in their yard? I don't know. But these people said they saw some SUV circling the area. Could this have been some piece of equipment that malfunctioned? Maybe they saw something and then someone came. I can't believe we're talking about this.
Right.
Someone came and retrieved it from the backyard in the SUV. We don't know. This all comes as a former high-level intelligence officer, a veteran, was on News Nation talking about how there is a program where the government collects some unidentified objects. So this might be that. We just don't know. We're going to work to find out, though.
And
Brian,
no substances. They were looking with clear eyes. Goodness.
Very interesting.
Not big buggy eyes, though.
This is really unique. Thank you, David.
You can see people are saying that we disappeared, the news stations. You know, what I learned these couple days, that everything on TV is fake, and especially the news channels. They'll say fake stuff, and it's not true. You know, I already said what I had to say. If you want to believe it, believe it. I don't care no more. I just want to... You guys understand, because of you guys I have depression, I have anxiety attacks, and I just want to be normal again. I don't feel okay, guys. And just move on, guys. Forget about it and just bye.
That last clip of that young man, Angel, speaking to us, what does that and who does that remind you of? It almost feels like the second to last clip that Angel did, or that Andrew Dawson did. You can see just the anguish. It went from this young man being not excited, but kind of excited. He had spoken about doing a show with Netflix about this event that occurred in his property, in his parents' property. He went from that, this kind of just young man with excitement in his voice, to this. That is creepy. That is scary for me. I'm very worried about the young man. It reminds me a lot about the second to last video Andrew Dawson did, where he's kind of saying, guys, it was a fake, it was a fraud, this and that, and he's looking over at someone. And then he posts another video saying, guys, it wasn't a fake, this is crazy, yada, yada, yada. And then mysteriously he died. Check it out. It's crazy. It's just insane, guys. It doesn't make any sense. Think about it. Just anyway, with that being said, let's jump into some Dogman encounters.
Hey Jeff, you said you need a Dogman encounter. Well, this is a good time to tell you mine. Before I tell you, I'll say I'm a friend of Vic Cundiff. I never felt like I could go on his show. I never knew my experiences with these creatures was not normal. until I heard of Dogman encounters, then my PTSD went through the roof. Basically, my whole life has been a paranormal roller coaster, and I'm at the point where I really don't care who believes me or not. A lot of things have happened to me, and I know I'm not crazy. I've just learned to live with all this wild stuff. If you want, you don't have to mention Vic. People might cause drama or whatever. You have a good way about you to rewrite the story. I won't get into every single detail because it'd be too long, and feel free to break things up into more than one story. Well, it started when my family decided to go with friends of ours to their cabin. This took place in Hillsborough County, New Hampshire. This happened in 1965 when I was 7 years old. I was going to the pond on a daily basis and got pretty bored with swimming and fishing. I noticed a path that went off the east of the trail, so I decided to take it. I loved trees and animals. I came up to a row of pines off the path and started climbing on the roots because they stuck out of the ground. I was at the tree near the path, and something told me to look around the tree to the path ahead. I looked and saw what I deemed as a black wolf. I hid behind the tree with my back to it, and as I went to look around the corner, it was right there, and we locked eyes. I slipped on the tree roots a couple of times and finally got on the path face to face with this wolf. I brought my face up close to see the muzzle, teeth, and tongue. I looked at its eyes, and they were black. I could see the white around the edges of its eyes as they moved, and I wanted to pet it. Now, me not knowing what a real wolf looked like, just figured that's wolf. To describe this creature, it was very tall at the shoulder. I couldn't reach to its back at all, and it had pointed ears with tufts. The mouth had pink gums with black spots, kind of like a dog. The tongue was dark, not red, kind of black. The canines were larger than a dog's. There was a thick mane that went around its head, with some going over its shoulders. I don't remember a tail at the time. I got it to let me touch its muzzle and mane, but it pulled away pretty quick. I got the feeling it didn't want me there anymore, and I started to cry. So I started walking back to the main trail and heard my brother calling in a distance, so I called back. I turned around and the wolf was gone. I never heard it leave. In fact, I never heard anything when I was in the presence of it. No birds, frogs, or insects. It was like I was in a vacuum or something. When I got to the trail, things seemed normal again. I heard birds, insects, etc. Okay, Jeff, the encounters didn't stop there. That night, my mom told all the kids they had to sleep in tents outside. I was horrified. I don't like the dark. Back then, I hated it. Well, I ended up in a tent with my brother. I couldn't sleep and was afraid of every noise I heard. Well, the second night, my brother was invited into the boys' tent, which meant no girls allowed. I was all alone in the tent listening to the night noises. Around maybe midnight, I heard a bipedal and quadrupedal walking towards my tent. I'm thinking it's some guy with his dog. As soon as the dog hit my tent, it sniffed the perimeter. I'm thinking in my head, dog, go away and take your master with you. I was in this very small, beat-up junior army tent, and my back was towards one wall of it. As soon as the creature rounded the corner, it stuck its nose into my back and did one of those long sniffs that dogs do to really get your scent. Well, I panicked and yelled so loud and bombed out of the tent, not looking back, and started banging on the cabin door. My mom answered the door, and I pushed my way in. She wasn't happy I woke her and everyone else up. She tried to get me out of the cabin, but I refused, so I laid on the floor, and I could hear from the open window something outside. I moved to the wall, and I heard scratching on the outside at the other end of the wall. I scratched back from where I was, and the creature moved very fast to my location and proceeded to scratch from the outside. I whispered, "I'm sorry, but I'm scared." I don't know why I was apologizing to this creature. As I think about it, it seems funny now. Well, the next night, my mom locked the cabin door and told her friend not to let me back in. I thought that was cruel, seeing I was only 7 and was scared this creature would come back. Well, it did come back, and I was lying looking out the mesh window at the top of the tent. I saw a very large silhouette that looked like a dog standing up. I peeked outside to see a tan-colored wolf standing on 2 legs, and I got back inside my sleeping bag, not knowing what to do next. I covered my head and prayed it would leave. Well, to make matters worse, the black one was outside my tent as well because it came into the tent. It couldn't fit very well, so it stuck its head in. I removed the sleeping bag from my head and looked. I sat up, and then it grabbed my sleeping bag and pulled me out of the tent, sleeping bag and all. I looked up at the tan one and was scared. I just looked at me. Well, this is becoming a nightly routine. They show up after everyone is asleep, pull me and my sleeping bag out of the tent, and I'd be looking up at 2 wolves and push me to get me on my feet and follow them. This went on for about a week or more. Some nights we would run into other campers. They'd jump into the brambles and hide while I would have to explain why I was out there all alone. One night I told this teenager I was with my dog and that he was in the bushes. Then the guttural growls would start and I'd see the look on the person's face. I would giggle at the situation and tell them, "Don't worry, he won't bother you." And the teenager proceeded to walk fast away from me. Jeff, there are some other hair-raising things that happen, but I'm not sure if I should say. They just seem totally unbelievable, even though they did happen to me. My God, I could write a book. There's so much to tell. I'll tell you what happened to me and my daughter in 2016. We were in a kitchen. I've since moved from the East Coast to the West Coast. We're talking about Dogman, and my daughter and I heard a howl in the distance. We both looked at each other and said, "Did you hear that?" We both stopped what we were doing and tried to stay quiet to see if we were imagining it. We heard the dogs from up the road bark, then another howl, but it was closer. As the howlings got closer, the dogs stopped barking. I immediately told my daughter to remove the doggy door while I went around and locked the doors and windows. I made sure that my dog was not in the yard. We had a sliding glass doors on a patio. I covered the glass with a curtain so nothing could look in and closed all my blinds. It was dusk and getting dark. I told my daughter, "Don't look out the windows." We tried to continue to do normal things without too much fear. I heard something along the back side of the house in the alleyway. Then the scratching started on the wall. I peeked out at the end of the blind towards the alley and heard something at the bathroom window. I ran to my daughter's room, closing the bathroom door, telling her to use my bathroom since there were no windows. I heard growling and something climbing on the roof. After some time, things seemed to quiet down. Then there was a huge bang, like something was trying to come through the wall near my bedroom. The whole house shook, and even my dog started barking at the noise. I was scared to death. I kept my dog in all night and didn't care if she went potty in the house. My daughter slept with me as well. The strangest thing happened a few days after that incident. I heard a helicopter very close to my home. I went outside to see what was going on. I exited out the patio to see Black Ops helicopter flying so low over my house. I could see a man with black army clothes on and a weird gun in his hand. He pointed it at me and I ran inside my house. It didn't seem to fire bullets. I really don't know what it was for. He was hanging outside the door, looking at me near my glass door. He talked to the pilot and they left. They came back a number of days flying overhead, but I stopped going out there. It stopped after that, and then the lone Dogman never came back as far as I know. I'm telling you, Jeff, pardon my French, but some weird shit has been happening. I heard that some people are Dogman magnets, and it doesn't matter where you go, they'll find you. Jeff, I'd like to remain anonymous. I don't care if anyone believes my encounter or not. Also, during my encounters, I've had a juvenile Sasquatch bother me for a while I was fishing. A lot of crazy stuff. I have alien encounters as well. I've had a paranormal life, like I said. I hope this helps your channel. God bless. Today's second Dogman encounter brings us to Hawk Point, Missouri, March 29th, 2018. It was about 2 years ago. I was going to my mother-in-law's house to pick up my husband after him and his brother had finished working on his Jeep. It was already dark, and I was coming up the back way to her house, which is mostly all gravel roads through the farmland. I'd just gotten off the blacktop and passed a big farm when this thing jumped from one side of the creek behind the farm across the road in front of me to the other side, which is field and woods. I stopped the car. First, I thought maybe it was a donkey, but it was too big and fast, and the tail looked more like a dog's. I tried to make sense of it. It was gray, so it wasn't a deer or a cow, and it was not a horse. There were no hoof beats. It was quiet and fast. I haven't seen anything again, but there have been reports of dogs missing and killed. Also, the farm where this thing came from used to have cows, but now they don't have any anymore. This is from Hawk Point, Missouri by Troy, Missouri. Thanks for listening. Today's third and final Dogman encounter. My husband saw a creature in Orfordville, Wisconsin back in the late 90s off of Old Highway 11. He was picking up speed to continue onto the highway, and this wolf was on the side of the road on all fours, and then it got up and walked in front of my husband's car, and it looked right at him. He said the wolf creature had a huge muzzle and yellow eyes. He said it ran on two legs across the road into a cornfield. Needless to say, my husband got the heck out of there. Believe. My husband and I live in Janesville, Wisconsin, which is less than an hour from Elkhorn. In 1998 or so, my husband was coming back from visiting a friend of ours in Orfordville, Wisconsin, and he saw something on the right side of his car as he was driving down Highway 11, heading back to where we live. This creature was down on all fours at first, but then got up on two legs. It had a long snout, very hairy, about 6 feet tall. There are things we can't explain.
Alright guys, that's the last upload of 2023. I hope you all enjoyed it. Guys, it has been one hell of a year. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, and wow, it's just been a good year, I guess, for channel wise, and meeting new people. I don't know. You guys really are the strength of this channel. When I go out to where Tom Mezek disappeared, or I start looking into things, I think of you guys. And what I can share with you guys, because you guys do share so much with me. You guys share your time with me. You guys are just freaking amazing. Experiences. Thank you. Started this channel 2018. The beginning of 2018 is when I started this channel. This has been 5 years. Now we're coming into number 6. So it's been a long, strange trip. But I am grateful for every bit and piece of everything on this channel that I've gone through with you guys. So thank you. Thank you for being here with this crazy ride. that we call YouTube and research, and hopefully we get some answers in 2024. Anyway, guys, thank you once again. Please stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant. I'm not even going to do that. Guys, I freaking love you guys. Thank you. Happy friggin' New Year. Stay safe tonight. God bless you all. And never, ever stop pushing back.